Welcome back to Dolor Factor Live. Let me just remind you, when we ask the question, listen very carefully, because tonight we're getting all different answers about this snake. Don't look at the Guinness World Book of Records. That's a hint. Don't look at that. Remember, we're talking about St. Lucia. That's even a bigger hint. There's no reason now for you to get that wrong. And you should get that right, because at least we're teaching you something here on Dolor Factor Live. Now, of course, we're talking about animals and our attitudes towards animals. And we're trying to make you understand that we do need to coexist with them. And we do need to understand that we do need them. And just before the break, we were talking about definitions of strays. We were talking about stray dogs in particular, but I know, Michael, you had some other additional concerns.
Yeah, listening to Dr. Joseph talking about dogs roaming out of their boundaries for their homes, and it just dawned on me that that dog, which is called a stray or a nuisance, was once a pup when that came to that home. And again, as owners of that pup, if we trained it properly, as a pup it'd be running around the house and say, okay, you had proper toilet manners or properly trained, and say, okay, you have your little bin there where you can do your little number 2 and that type of thing. Most times these dogs are confined to the home and don't really move around. It's just like you raise a child and you say after 6 you don't go out. But if children are allowed to do what they please, and as they would go anywhere, you'd see now 9, 10 o'clock you see a child out. Same thing with a dog. If it's trained properly, it normally stays within the ambits of the home. But as that animal gets bigger, what happens? It's out, because it's not inside. It can't stay outside. You can't say you won't have dogs among human beings.
Some people do.
Some people do, yes. I mean, you see
some people put dogs on their beds.
On their beds, yeah, of course.
That's not healthy, is it?
They hug their dogs, the dogs kiss them, all that kind of stuff.
That can't be right or healthy.
It all depends.
Why,
I mean,
why you think it's not right?
What's wrong with it? It's a pet.
You can't have a pet kissing you, stuff like that. I mean, that's my personal opinion. Maybe I shouldn't give it,
exactly.
But it doesn't seem a healthy thing to have your dogs, licking you.
But you have dogs that have chewing bones, and dogs that you brush their teeth.
Why are you laughing,
and all that kind of stuff.
Why are you laughing? Come on, explain the laughter. Say it.
There are some animals who are treated even better than human beings.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. You get the other side of yes.
Yeah.
No, we must understand that in certain jurisdictions, even in St. Lucia now, it is happening that certain pets, dogs, cats, are becoming part of the household.
Yeah.
Yes, I would appreciate that.
Of the family.
Yes.
And again, I'm laughing because you are saying that you wouldn't do it, and we're talking about attitude towards animals. And if we are supposed to be loving towards the animals, we need to express that love.
That's saliva exchange. We're not even supposed to be doing that with human beings to a certain extent.
But human beings kiss anyway.
Yeah, we do it. That's human being to human being.
Yeah, so are you saying that? Are you saying that in St. Lucia, some of our persons are over-loving their
No,
pets?
no, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that, I love pets, and I do say that you should not keep a pet unless you are prepared to look after it properly.
Precisely.
Yeah.
I know sometimes they're very useful, very loving, useful in terms of, guarding you, because they do look after you, not just your property, and they do become very much, a member of the household. But I just think that there is, as you rightly said, Doctor, attitudes. My attitude is that, there is, just as there is a place for the dog when it gets older, you don't have them sleeping in your bed, that's the way that I, that I look at it,
Well, I look at it differently. I think it's a question of choices that persons make. And Bob alluded to that point earlier. I think the problem that we have here as it relates to attitude towards animals is persons who have made that decision to be an animal owner.
Okay, well, but sorry to cut you there, but I didn't want to forget this. Remember, I did say before the break that people do have animals, but there are certain things they should be doing. People just think they should have their shots, but there are other things like registration and so on, and perhaps, I don't know if either one of you can, maybe Doctor, you started.
Yes, I was coming to this. I mean, it all boils down to being a responsible animal owner. I think that is where we fall short. That's why the what is apparently being strays ends up being strays or perceived to be strays. Because if you're an animal owner, you have to understand that you are responsible for this animal health, social safety, and its welfare.
Yes. Now, I know I asked you this question, and I'm cutting it again. It's just that we've got someone who's been holding for a very long time, and I know this is going to be a very long explanation, so I'm very sorry. I hope you're still with us, caller. Hello. Welcome to Dolor Factor Live. Good evening.
I would say good night to Mr. Michael Bobb. I'm just watching him, my chief forest officer. That's Milton. Yeah, tell him hello. Yes.
Well,
Tell him keep up the good work.
Okay, Milton.
Nice.
Thank you, Milton. All right.
Thank you. There's loyalty for you. You must be doing something very good. All right. If you care to continue, sorry.
So I'm saying this is where it all stems from, and the number of things I think that we need to do as a population is to build up the awareness in persons who have animals within their keep to be responsible animal owners. Some persons, like Bob alluded to earlier, see a pup, nice puppy, bouncy, and as long as the pup starts getting older, it's not as cute as it used to be. The attention that had to be given while it was a pup, so that it is house trained, it doesn't mess in the house, urinate in the house. It wasn't done. So then they considered that as being a nuisance, so he's been kicked out of the house. Then he's no longer allowed to get in. Okay, I have that freedom now. I'm not going to stay only on the confines of being outside of the house. I'm going to start venturing out further. And that is where the whole issue of the stray start coming in, and the detachment from the dog and its owner, they start getting further apart.
Yeah, but if we had, and I'm choosing this word very carefully, proper is the wrong word. But if we had a proper way of registering animals in St. Lucia, would that make the situation any better?
Like I said too, we have a number of laws on our statutes, our books, and again too, the laws are there. They are not being implemented, and even if they're implemented, has that changed anything?
No, what are the laws?
What
are the laws in terms of if you were going to own a pet and if you're going to own livestock?
Yeah, but I'm going to come to that.
Yeah.
I'm saying so, if the awareness is there, the same way you decide to be a mother, okay? As a mother, you know that you are going to be responsible for that kid that you're going to bear forth. Be responsible for all aspects of this kid until that kid has attained his or her independence. The same applies for the animal. The only difference is that the animal would never have attained its own independence. So that you have to understand that. So you have made a decision to have this animal within your keep, and you're responsible for this animal total welfare. The animal has the same needs as we do to have its medical check done. So you know that you have to take it on to the vet to get its check done. Its vaccines has to be updated as well to make sure that it has that level of immunity to reduce the manifestation of diseases. It has to be fed for, has to be sheltered, and if persons are going to be, if they understand that and take on the responsibilities as true animal owners, the issue of strays ought not to be strays. So then, having now to apply the arm of the law to make sure those things are done, I guess our resources are becoming very scarce, both human and financial. So we can at least divert those resources into more meaningful areas. So I'm saying again to the essence here, for me, yes, you may have laws in place, you may have to make sure persons do things right. Look at it well, we have all these laws to try and prevent crime, and crime is still escalating.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and I'm going to get back to this again. There's a program that the Animal Health Plaza is starting off sometime next month, and it's all about, it's called a Kiddies Pet Club, and there are two objectives that is supposed to be derived from being part of that club. One is to instill in kids animal ownership, what it is to be an animal owner, your pet, what is your responsibility as an animal owner. And through this medium, to help address the issue of delinquency. Because from my perspective, a lot of the delinquent behaviors I see around stems out from kids not being responsible. So they grow up, have no sense of responsibility. So they do things without even thinking.
Yeah.
Okay. So if from early o'clock we can instill this in them, I'm sure down the road we can have more forgiving and a better population.
Society.
And how can people find out more about venture?
It's going to be out in the
So you
airways,
still
so probably free as well.
Okay, all right. Please let us know.
We starting off with Soufre and Fifot in the south.
Okay, well viewers, we definitely will keep you in tune with what's happening there. Now we've closed the entries for tonight's giveaways, but the phone lines will be ready for your calls when we return. This is Dolor Factor Live only on DBS, so stay with us.